Hey guys, it's me again, coming to you live, but not really. I know it's been a minute since I posted Hawaii stuff, been going through some personal issues, but everything's okay now. And the last video that I uploaded was the road to Hana. It was very beautiful, not for the faint of heart. The entire tour was about 10 hours long. It starts early in the morning. You're going to be spending a whole lot of time in a van going over very bumpy roads, especially the last 2 hours. The roads were so terrible. My smartwatch thought that I had climbed 36 flights of stairs. I actually got a little queasy. I had to take some Dramamine. It was a very small tour. There was only three other couples with us. One of them was this. I couldn't tell if she was Asian or white or maybe a mix. She had a really nice ass. We made stops at a lot of shops, a lot of stands where we bought freshly made banana bread and shaved ice and flavored honey. It was a good time. Definitely a long day though. So the next thing that I'm going to show you guys is the activity that we did. I don't think we did it the following day. I think we did it the day after. It's the Haleakala Sunrise Tour. The Haleakala Sunrise Tour, again, an activity that may not be for everybody due to the fact that they pick you up at 2:30 in the morning. I mean, even when we were walking around town the next day and talking to the locals about the Haleakala Sunrise Tour, they were like, "You did that?" Like even for them, it was considered a trip of endurance. And that was another small tour. There was a few more people this time than the Road to Hana tour, but still, pretty quiet. We had a tour guide from, I think he said he was from South Africa, but he was a little bit like Irish too. He explained a lot about the history of the volcano and talked a lot about James Cook for some reason. He talked on and on and on about James Cook, whom I believe is not very popular with the locals. One thing to keep in mind if you go on the Haleakala Sunrise Tour is that it gets really cold up there. Why? Very warm place, but we brought our winter coats because the temperature dropped about 30 degrees by the time we got to the top. A lot of people were not having a good time in that kind of weather, except for these smoking hot blondes who were from Michigan. Like they were wearing just like really thin jackets and they were outside the entire time, whereas most of us, after about a half hour wandering around in the pitch dark cold, because there's no lights up there, we were relying on our cell phones and flashlights. We had had enough. We got back on the bus and we waited until it was closer to sunrise. The actual sunrise was beautiful, and I'm going to show you guys. Enjoy.
It's focusing now, so it's going to focus.
Yep, there it is. Ooh. Yay! All right.
Actually researching it. But you can see a few out here. We're going to pass one that's flowering. But the thing with the silver sword, it only flowers once in its life and then it dies. So its root structure is like a spider's web. It's very fine. Obviously there's not much in the way of soil up here, not much water retention. So it lives off the moisture from the clouds, and then obviously when it does rain here, but usually when it rains here we get heavy rain and then it runs away. So it deflects the heat of the sun. Those spindle-like leaves deflect the heat of the sun to keep it cool in the sun. But if you walk close to it, you can in effect kill it, because you can cause it to flower. And like I said, it only flowers once in its life. Pretty sophisticated piece of technology. It basically calibrates satellites revolving around the planet and monitors debris in space. It's controlled by NASA and the United States Air Force. The other telescopes are controlled by various different astronomy colleges, and the newest one is the Daniel Inouye telescope. Sole purpose is to study the sun. If you can call it a town, it's not much. A little restaurant there, there's one, two little warehouses. There's a really nice glass blower in that establishment there. But that field there between Haleakala and Makua town, that's like that's the Maui gold pineapple. They have a little pineapple tour there as well. On the left hand side there's a really green patch. It's surrounded by a brown patch, a darker brown patch, and then there's a really green patch over in the central valley. That's the distillery.
You get 10 seconds per flower. Enjoy it while you can.
That's why I take pictures of it.
I'm taking a video.
But he stopped off in Mexico, and while he was in Mexico, his intention, he had gotten permission from the British to go back to the Hawaiian Islands. But while he was in Mexico,